Hello guys, and welcome to a new Steel Division video today by me, Vulcan. Today I have for you the TheMagicMan73 versus Kade Laker in round 3 lower bracket of the 5th Asia Pacific tournament. So today we are going to be seeing Bois de Limors, and on the allied side the Guards Armoured under command of the Magic Man, and on the Axis side the Festung Gross-Paris. So this is a really interesting map. I kind of like Bois de Limors in these kinds of matchups just because they present such an interesting strategy that one player will likely have to take. So in this case, the Guards Armoured playing into Bois de Limors is less than ideal, right? You've got rifles which are okay-ish at close range. They've got 8 HE, but do they really match up to the strength of the Festung Gross-Paris squads? Probably not, especially against, for example, the ROA in Phase B. But you do have Assault Pioneers, so maybe you can hold on a little bit. But that's not something you really want to focus on, right? You can use the Assault Pioneers to maybe defend in Phase B, but ideally as the Guards Armoured, you want to be exploiting the top side of this map where things are much more open and work much more in your favour with your armoured units. So for me, if I was the Magic Man, I would put all of my stuff on this top side. Maybe have a little bit of a skeleton force like defending this tree line and maybe this tree line here in the forest, because that's pretty much all you'll need. As long as you just maybe have like a half track or something there with like some motorized rifles. You'd probably want one motorized rifle, one rifle, motorized rifle, rifle, because then you've got the half track that can sit on the road here, shoot troops as they come across if they don't use smoke, and same deal up here. You can just shoot across the road as they come across. And that is pretty much all I would expect to do down here, because you'd want to put a Cromwell 7 up here, you'd want to put Humber Mark 3s up here, and just use recon with maybe a mortar to break through a like AT early on and exploit the hell out of the top side of the map. That's really what I'd go for. So I'm hoping that the Magic Man does focus on that. I think that it's something that he could definitely do, and he is a very good player, so I hope to see it. But in the meantime, let's have a look at what he's actually put down. So on the bottom side, it's going to be Humber Mark 3s with 2 recon there. It's going to be 2 rifles and a motorized rifle, so 1 less than I would have thought. And I'm a bit confused as to why the Humber Mark 3s are being sent to the bottom side. 1 is okay, 2 maybe a bit overkill. They are, again, great for covering the roads as troops try and cross, but they won't be engaging any of the Festung Gross-Paris tanks, since there's going to be B2s, there's going to be like loads of the light German armour that could definitely kill Humbers quite easily. So I don't think that you really want to utilise those in the forest environment down here. However, on the top side, the Magic Man is going to be investing into the Cromwell 7 and a Humber Mark 3. Also got the Dingo up there and a rifle squad, 6-pounder and rifle for the mid. Over on the side of Kade Laker, he's putting a Panzerjäger on the top side with an AT gun. That's going to be a Pak 38. Then he has some Bewährungs with the command. Further down, it's going to be Landesschützen with the flamethrowers, and there's also the Panhard MG with the Aufklärer and another Landesschützen. Landesschützen command and Flammenwerfer, and on the bottom side it's going to be Panzerschreck, Flammenwerfer, Landesschützen command, another Landesschützen, and the Panzerjäger back there. So interesting choice of units. Now I definitely expected Kade Laker to invest more into the forest than the Magic Man has done. I think Kade Laker's win condition in this map is definitely to control the entire forest and then just prevent the Magic Man from taking the top side with a more defensive stance. That is how I would play it if I was the Festung Gross-Paris, but we'll have to wait and see what Kade Laker exactly gets up to. But I really like the idea of using these Flammenwerfers alongside the Landesschützen, because what you can do is have the Landesschützen engage an infantry squad, then have the Flammenwerfer come in behind them, which would then be able to kill the rifles or make them surrender very quickly. The other great thing about Flammenwerfers is they provide smoke. So, like I mentioned before, with the pushing across the cover, like the open road here, and not having cover, you can create your own cover with that smoke. On this top side, though, this is pretty important. The Bewährungs, pretty close to this Cromwell 7, are going to be pinned down. The Grenführer could very easily be killed off by the rifles, and that's going to be surrendered. So An early breakthrough here for the Magic Man, and no more command really left for the Pak 38, which will allow both the Humber Mark III and Cromwell 7 to engage that very easily. Now, unless this Pak 38 takes out the Humber Mark III, I think it's probably going to die. So that will leave the Panzerjäger all on its lonesome to cover that top side. Meanwhile, in the forest, Panzerjäger is taking out the Humber Mark III, and this is kind of what I expected. Like I mentioned in the forest engagements, Humber Mark IIIs aren't really going to work too well. Yes, they may be able to get close using the line of sight, but if you keep them in the center section, they're going to die. But either way, troops are moving into position now. They have all unloaded and are going to be getting into position. Again, it's just going to be a matter of getting the Flammenwerfer and the Landesschützen to this side, throwing smoke onto the road, running across and killing the rifles. And that's an easy way to just make loads of ground in the forest, because there's not really too much the Magic Man can do about it without having strong infantry himself. Now that is a very, very important hit there. Oh, and the Panzerjäger is going to kill off the Humber Mark III. Internal fragment first shot, though, is very nice. Cromwell 7 has to find this kill, otherwise this could very easily fall against the Magic Man. The ammo storage here is not good. The Cromwell 7 has stopped aiming, does fire again, gets the shooter wounded, forces the fallback of the Panzerjäger. Now needs to just find the kill, clean that up. Did not find it with that shot. The Dingo in the meantime did kill off the Pak 38, which was really nice. But this is a lot of ground gained here for the Magic Man, and this is exactly what I'd hoped for. Just exploiting your strong tanks in the early game to find ground on the top side. But the Puma is arriving, and if this Cromwell 7 is not careful, or this Dingo dies, for example, then the Panzerjäger could be in trouble. But the Panzerjäger here, it is going to get surrendered by the Dingo. The Dingo now needs to get into cover as soon as possible. Puma is coming under fire from the Cromwell 7. The Magic Man surely needs to find that kill. Is he going to be able to aim in time though? Or maybe just, but not finding the kill. The lack of veterancy there, meaning that the Cromwell 7 is not going to have its accuracy. Landesschützen and the Flammenwerfer have broken through into this patch of forest. The rifles there going to be the only ones really to hold them back, and that's not really going to work out in their favour. Panzerschreck did kill the Humber on the top side as well. Now these rifles, again, using the smoke to cross the road here, Kade Laker has managed to advance onto the rifles without coming under fire from that Humber, although the Panzerschreck did the job. And yeah, really smart play here from Kade Laker. He knows what his goal is, and he is definitely making it happen at the moment. He's also planning to take out these rifles. You can see the Flammenwerfer and the Landesschützen moving up to take that out. So lovely use of these units currently. Motorized rifles have been unloaded in the face of the Puma. The Cromwell 7 is going to come around the corner. That's going to be engaging the Puma, but the Puma's going to find the kill. That is absolutely devastating for the Magic Man's push. These motorized rifles are not in a good place either. This could just be the swing right here. This Puma kills the Dingo. It leaves these motorized rifles very exposed. The M5 half-track is going to be the next to fall. The 2-star Puma has literally just cleaned this whole thing up. Look at those wrecks. The motorized rifles surrendering as well. The Magic Man, oh, that is a nasty amount of losses on that top side, and completely demolishes his push and all the progress that he made. Incredible stuff from Kade Laker. Landesschützen and Flammenwerfer, this rifle's just running for their life right now, and I would be too if a flamethrower was hunting me down. The best bet is just to get them in the M5 half-track, redeploy them elsewhere, because there is no point in trying to contest this forest right now, unless you can cover this area and this area, which I don't think he's going to be able to do against the Panzerschreck. Stuart 6 is trying to hunt down some Landesschützen in the centre, and this could be a place to make some ground here for the Magic Man. But he's got to find the recon here to know for sure. And he doesn't have any recon just yet in the mid. Now on this top side, the Puma's still just killing off the rest of the units here. The motorized rifles are just in such a bad spot. They're kind of behind enemy lines though, so if Kade Laker kind of forgets about them, he could maybe ambush a unit later on. But the D520 now coming in, that's going to help pin down and surrender the rifles in the forest. The Flammenwerfer still at full health and full strength. They haven't lost a man yet, which is very important. These Flammenwerfer squads are often quite bad because they only have 2 men, but in this case, not losing a man whilst engaging the rifles is really good, and I think the Landesschützen kind of took the fall there, which is good. Panzerjäger does come around the corner, engages the Stuart 6, takes that out. 6-pounder not going to be accurate enough to find the first shot onto the Panzerjäger. And now these Landesschützen, well, they need to stop. Kade Laker knows it. He needs to get the hell out of there. That is not a place where you want to push your Landesschützen, and they should not be on the edge. You need to get your Panzerschreck up, get the Panzerjäger up, whatever. Just find something to kill these M5 half-tracks before you decide to push across the open next. Or maybe bring the Flammenwerfer forwards to drop more smoke. He's done it once already, so he can do it again. But at the moment, with this push coming through in the forest, +1 now in favour of Kade Laker. He's starting to count up the points, after previously the Magic Man did find that +1 pushing through the top here. But yeah, the Magic Man, this Puma, has quite literally turned this entire thing around. Motorized rifles are going to reveal themselves by attacking the Pak-38. If they can find that kill, that would be really quite nice actually for the motorized rifles, and they will. So going to be paying themselves off, which is a start for Magic Man getting back into this game, because things are absolutely dire for him right now. These Stuart 6s, I'm not really sure if they're going to be enough to make any more progress in Phase A. He's going to be reliant on Phase B, where he can bring in more Cromwell, sorry, and maybe a Firefly. That might be able to sort of make some ground again on this top side, but it's not until then that we're going to see that, and that's in 2 minutes time, which is quite a long time. M5 half-track has found some Landesschützen on the edge of the forest again. This is not where they need to be. Is Kade Laker even moving any of his forces right now? I think he's just maybe taking a sip of tea or something, because there is not a single order on the map. The Magic Man, in the meantime, is moving up some of his forces, putting a little pressure into the mid, which is, I think, a good idea. However, rifles, they need to be supported if they want to go up against Landesschützen, because the Landesschützen aren't disheartened, so they will still do quite a lot of damage regardless of the rifles having the Brenns and the Lee Enfield. Also, this Landesschützen, I think it's just going to be surrendered straight up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Kade Laker is just taking a nap at this point. Which is rather amusing. Not a single order on any one of his units. Meanwhile, the Magic Man is going to break through in the mid though. He has found a nice salient here and may be able to exploit this. The Puma may be forced to come down to the bottom side. Meanwhile, in the top side though, an AT gun is arriving to support the two Stuarts, and I think this is really smart. It's not often something I talk about, but bringing up AT to support tanks is really, really good as sort of a basis to push off of. So you bring up a 6-pounder to sit behind your tanks, so that when your tanks get engaged upon, or you engage on units with your tanks and they try and like counter push, I guess, you're covered, and it's quite an easy way to catch out your opponent. In this case, unloading the 6-pounder in the face of the Beveraung is probably not the best idea, but does reveal their location, and now the Magic Man can use these M5 half-tracks with motorized rifles to clean them out. We are 10 seconds until phase C. Or B, sorry. Maybe what is happening right now is Kade Laker's saving for some units in B. I'm not entirely sure, but again, no units moving on the side of Kade Laker. Meanwhile, Magic Man's pushing a +1, found the 54% territory lead. The Magic Man still pushing quite aggressively, especially on this top side, and no reinforcements en route just yet. So what can the Magic Man do? He's got his infantry set up here, and again, just defending this section of the forest is all you really want to do at this point. Just make sure your half-tracks can cover these roads if they can, but due to these little patches of trees, especially here and here, kind of blocks your ability to do that unless you're in the middle of the forest, which isn't where you want to be against the Panzerjäger. Meanwhile, on the top side though, Beveraungs are actually going to be surrendered, and the Panzerschreck though may be opening up onto the M5 half-track soon if it's taken off return fire and allowed to shoot away. But a +2 now in favour of the Magic Man, and still not a unit moving on the side of Kade Laker. It's making me wonder if the replay is broken. Not entirely sure, but the Magic Man still pushing on through. Motorized rifles are going to come up against the Landesschützen at close range. Here we go. Kade Laker is going to be reversing his Puma. He's going to have some infantry on the way. Maybe he was just saving for loads of bombers to have a massive bombing strike. Here comes two Ju-188s. They're going to be hitting the 6-pounder. He's got a Ju-188 in the mid here, going to be hitting the motorized rifles. And off we go. Here come the reinforcements. So that 6-pounder, I'm surprised it's not dead. Panzerschreck takes out the half-track. Going to come under fire from the Panzerschrecks. Opts to just run into the fire of the motorized rifles. Puma is going to try and get involved here. That's going to want to clean up this M5 half-track if it can, whilst the Stuarts are hidden behind the tree line there. The Landerschutzen are going to try and make ground again. These two units have managed to cross into this forest, so I'm not sure if this motorized rifle is going to be able to stop it, but if they bump into the Flammenwerfer first, I feel like the Flammenwerfer is probably going to lose, unless the Magic Man backs off. I guess the motorized rifles will automatically do that when there is flames all over them, which kind of makes sense, I guess. But either way, it reveals the position of the motorized rifles to Kade Laker and something that he can try and take advantage of. Stuart 6 is arriving. That's going to be looking for the close range engagement with the Panzerjäger, trying to take advantage of the fact that that is a self-propelled gun. But this pushing here from Kade Laker does mean that the +1 is back in Magic Man instead of the +2. Ooh, Landerschutzen and Flammenwerfer finding the 6-pounder. That's nice. Although the Stuart 6 makes short work of the Flammenwerfer there. Panzerjäger does take a internal fragment, but the Panzerschreck there killing the Stuart 6 means that the Panzerjäger will not go down. Meanwhile, Grenführer and Bewährungs pushing into this bottom side and surrounding a lot of this infantry, and this could be a huge territory swing indeed. Puma's going to be finding and probably killing off this M5 half-track, which will get rid of this huge salient, and things will likely go back to 50-50 for the time being. There is a Stug 3 now on the board, and that can definitely present a lot of threat to the Stuart 6 and the Cromwell 7 as they try and push around this tree line. But I think what the Magic Man's trying to do here is use the tree line where he knows there's not any infantry since there's motorized rifles here to find line of sight under the Puma. But Kade Laker has moved out of the way of that. Meanwhile, in the forest down here, Landerschutzen, assisted by the Flammenwerfer, should kill off these motorized rifles, get rid of those. He surrounded those rifles in the forest, so they're probably just going to remain there for the time being. More reinforcements are coming in to this forest, but unless they're assault pioneers, I don't think this is a very good idea. Because you can fight back a little bit with assault pioneers in the mid-game, but again, you probably want to just be focusing all of your stuff into the top side and maybe just have a couple Stuarts or something covering the open ground outside of the forest. But this is a really, really nice bombing strike here. Ju-188 there comes in, kills off, well, forces back both the Stuarts, and now this Stug 3 going to be just taking pot shots at close range. Engine destroys the Cromwell 6. Spitfire Mark 9 going to be coming to the rescue though with its own bombing strike. Oh, the Magic Man got out of that one, because that could have been extremely deadly. And considering Kade Laker was AFK for like 5 minutes, I'm surprised that he's still in this game. But well, certainly coming back strong. Stuart 6 is being forced back, Cromwell 7 on the engine destroyed there. It's only a matter of time until another Ju-188 comes in and allows Kade Laker to clean things up. Now, the amount of rifles that Magic Man did bring in may actually overwhelm the forces that Kade Laker has here. Like, both of the Flammenwerfers are dead. These Landerschutzen aren't going to be long for this world. And neither of these ones really, since rifles do outmatch Landerschutzen at close range if they are not assisted by those Flammenwerfers. The Bewährungs, however, they will take a little bit longer to kill. They also have a similar HE, but better veterancy, so Bewährungs would kill off rifles if they bump into them one by one. Grenführer, they may also do quite a lot of damage, but rifles should outmatch them at close range. There's 2 Grenführer in this forest. He's got to make sure that they stay with the Bewährungs, otherwise there could be trouble. In the meantime, Puma's going to come around the trees and kill the Cromwell 7. The motorized rifles were also cleaned up by that bombing strike, so that was something completely unintentional, but there we go. Puma is going to come under fire from the Piat, and the Piat actually hits. Bravo, everyone. Everybody take a sip of tea. That is a bravo. Bravo? That is a brilliant Piat strike there from the motorized rifles. Very, very nice job. Tempest is busy strafing these Panzerjägers, stopping them from pursuing the Stuart 6s. But yeah, nice to see a Piat hit for once. Now these rifles are going to be trying to hunt down the rest of the forces in this tree area. and he doesn't want to spread them out, I think. You want to keep the rifles like relatively close together. You can see these rifles did kill off the Grenfjäger, because then you can, you know, find and kill off units doubly quick. Like 2v1, rifles will just melt Landeschützen, Beverdungs, whatever. Any 2v1 engagement generally goes in favor of the 2 over the 1. It's just simple maths. Anyway, this rifle might find itself completely surrounded, especially being enclosed upon by the Beverdungs, the Grenfjäger on one side, and then the Landeschützen on the top side. That's not a good place for those to be, but it will reveal those 3 units, which may force the Magic Man to come back with these rifle squads to clean things up, because those rifles are definitely very dead right now, and these rifles will be shortly after. More infantry is on the way though for Kade Laker, but these are ROA, and they certainly take the cake when it comes to these close range engagements. The Pepesche is definitely going to be more than good enough, especially when you've got 3 of them against the Sten guns of the rifles. So motorized rifles here, they are going to be revealed as they fire at the Landeschützen. That's going to allow the Stug 3 and the Panzerjäger to engage them. I like the fact that there's going to be some recon here, as it allows the Stug 3 and Panzerjäger to advance more aggressively. There is still a +1 in favour of Kade Laker at this point, since he's still controlling the forest area back here in this large chunk of land, but once this is cleaned up, it should go back to 50-50. So a very, very close game at the moment, and honestly, the Magic Man's done a pretty nice job. It's just unfortunate that Kade Laker's come through with these really, really nice plays so far. The first being the Puma kill onto like all of those units, and the second being the bombing strike, which nearly led to the Cromwell 7 and both the Stuart 6s dying, which would have been a huge swing on this top side. But at the moment, back to 50-50, like I mentioned, with this land being cut off. We are there. Beverdong's going to be trying to kill these rifles. We do see some rifles get surrendered there though. Spitfire Mark 9 tries to duel with the D520, but the Flak M36 is going to be shooting that in the sky and forcing it to fall back. Landeschützen have found the motorized rifles and will likely clean them up, which allows the Stug 3 and Panzerjägers to advance. So, we're back to 50-50. However, as we move or continue into Phase B, the ROA should take control of this forest, and I think the Magic Man should definitely stop investing into it, as it will just lead to more losses. And then Kade Laker just needs to defend the top side, and that's how he'll win. Also, getting a clean kill there onto the Stuart 6 is nice for the Stug 3G. So that is a very nice job done indeed. Aufklärer are moving up. They will reveal lots of units for Kade Laker. We can see as it comes through that tree line. Is it going to spot the AT gun? I don't think it will. It's out of range. It will spot anything that tries to come towards these tanks in the future. We've just moved into Phase C. ROA here have bumped into 2 units of rifles, and regardless of how strong ROA are, again 2v1, rifles will still win. But there is another Beverdungs and another ROA squad here, so this could still end badly for the Magic Man, and I think even more reinforcements are on their way anyway. So yeah, Kade Laker should have this forest wrapped up regardless of the Humber Mark 3, since he still has a Panzerschreck, and all these ROAs do have the Faustpatrons. Now this 17 pounder, that's going to get bombed. The other 17 pounders are going to get bombed. They're revealing themselves by firing at the SDKFZ7. And just some really smart bombing strikes there. Might want to get the Stug 3 honestly to peek around the corner and start firing at that 17 pounder at least, just to finish it off. ROA, they're going to bump into these 2 Humbers. That is not a place you want to be. It's a lot of HE. And one unfortunate thing for Magic Man here is he's mismicroed his rifles and allowed them to be engaged one by one. And in that engagement, ROA are going to win every time, because they have 3 submachine guns at close range with 12 HE versus the 6 at the 2 at close range with 6 HE. So yeah, just not going to be enough men there. The ROA will still win against that rifle squad, or at least they should. Who knows? Can that rifle be a hero? He can. Wow. But anyway, ROA on the top side, they are going to continue to push through. The 17 banner has been taken out there. We do see a surrender here. Oh, that must have been there for a while. 17 pounder. Ooh, it's going to engage the SDK of Z7 again. Stoke 3 is going to be able to engage at close range, but not really a place that he wants to be. It is only on 2 health though, now down to 1. A second shot should clean that up. Also, the addition of the Pak 40 is really nice, just to attack those 17 pounders when they reveal themselves. Now, what has happened is since those 2 6 pounders or 17 pounders have come in and both died, it leaves the door open to Kade Laker at the moment. Meanwhile, on the bottom side here, these Humber Mark 3s, they are ripping through the ROA, but one of them's had to fall back. The other one's being closed upon by the Bevierungs and the ROA. And I think that's just going to be a Faustpatron kill. Yeah, there we go. The Recce also going to be completely surrounded. So that's the recon gone. The Humber Mark 3s are going to be less effective as well. Although this ROA taking a lot of unnecessary damage. Kade Laker's got to be very careful with his infantry movement here. He doesn't want to let them ever get too close to the edge of the trees, because that's how you lose troops unnecessarily. Now, transmission damage for the Stug 3 is not good. That was caused by the 17 pounder, but still a +1 in favour of Kade Laker. 2 ROA now coming in to reinforce though. Will be able to run over these rifles, and nice hit by the Panzerschreck there is going to bail out the Humber Mark 3. Sexton is trying to get involved and has pinned down those 2 units. Might even kill them off. But that's not going to stop these ROA from chewing through the rifles on the bottom side here. And these ROA are also chasing these rifles. And both, or all of those ROA squads are going to do a fantastic job. So, yeah, Kade Laker's made up the forest, whilst the Magic Man is struggling to push on this top side. And that is, again, the game plan for Kade Laker, and he's pulling it off here, which is really good. The Magic Man, all he can do really at this point is, again, neglect this forest, just forget about it, just put up some defenses in these trees, and then invest in multiple Shermans or even a Firefly for the top side, create a big push here, and just push on through. That's the best you can do in that situation. Have like the Sextons maybe move to the top side as well. Have them hit the Flak M36. Have them hit the Pak 40. You know, those are the kinds of things that you're going to want to do. Now the bombing strike did come in there. I think that was to force back this Panzerjäger. This Panzerjäger further down is going to find and kill off the M5 half track. You could also just leave this Sexton on the bottom side, honestly, because that can direct fire at close range. Panhard MG is going to be pinning down these rifles. It might also reveal the 17 pounder if it fires upon it. It's going to be looking for the shot onto the Stug 3 though. Oh, JU-188. I think it bailed on its attack there. The Tempest though not going to be able to stay on the tail of the JU-188. I'm not sure if there's enough AA here really as well to stop this going down, but there is going to be a D520. And that D520 honestly is probably going to get the kill here. Yep, the Tempest is going down. JU-188 comes in, bombs a 17 pounder. Actually, look at that. The bombs went all around it. That was interesting to say the least. But now some more infantry coming in. They're going to try and cap back this Opel Blitz munition. That was actually captured by the Recce, which is quite amusing on this bottom side. But at close range, these rifles are toast. And yeah, that's going to be another infantry squad down, and 56% territory now for Kade Laker. Pak 40 is taking shots at the Sherman 5. Sexton has got a target though now, which may allow him to take advantage of that. This 17 pounder is still alive as well and has a really nice shot onto these troops, so maybe there's still a chance for the Magic Man. He is bringing up a Firefly now, but he now has to cut through a Tiger as well. So there is a little way to go. Rifles are going to get surrounded here and killed off. These just shouldn't be sent down here. There is no point trying to contest the infantry of Kade Laker unless they're assault pioneers. In this case, they're just rifles. And yeah, you might be able to overwhelm them with numbers, but those are numbers that could be used elsewhere to sort of sweep through the tree lines on the top side here and find these Landersschützen. Because look, these Landersschützen have managed to get right on top of his 17 pounder. And that's not a place where you want them to be. And now he's scrambling for more infantry on the top. when they should already be there. These rifles should not be coming to the bottom side. Yeah, maybe leave a squad like here, or maybe even further back like here, or further forward, sorry, just so that you control this area and give yourself that little bit extra, you know, land, and maybe put one here as well, just put on return fire. You can do that, but just don't overinvest into the forest, which you've now completely lost, because it's just going to happen again. And yeah, you can maybe use artillery to take you back, but this isn't a winning play. This is going to take way too long, and you don't exactly know where the infantry is until it engages, in which case you want to kind of retarget your sexton straight away so that you do win those engagements. In this case, Panzergrens are now arriving, 2-star Panzergrens. Landesschützen trying to make a push across the open are actually going to be found and likely killed off by the Stuart 6. Firefly is coming into this top side, but will it be able to do make a difference? I'm not entirely sure. Crusader AA Mark 1, that's going to be trying to prevent the Ju-188 strikes, but not going to prevent the 6-pounder from being pinned, that's for sure. And well, with the assistance of the Flak M36 and the Ju-188, this Spitfire Mark 9 is forced back here and might even be chased. Yeah, it's going to be chased by Kade Laker. It's using all of its guns and is going to find the kill. Wow, that is incredible. What an absolute beast this was. It used its front gunner and its top gun there to find the kill. Impressive stuff. Anyway, on our way. They're going to be hit, hopefully at close range, never mind. The fire now coming down onto these ROA instead. And you can see there's just no ground is being made here. Tempest is coming in to engage the Ju-188. Oh, that's nasty. 6-pounder goes down. On the top side, infantry is here, 2 units of Panzer Grenadiers. They're going to be able to prevent any pushes from motorized rifles especially. There's a lot of territory here for Kade Laker right now, and yeah, okay, these ROA might eventually be overrun, but Cromwell 7 again coming into the bottom side is just not what you need to do. 4 units of rifles on the top side would reveal the Panzer Grenadiers, allow the tanks to push onto those, then just use the artillery to hit the Flak M36s and any AT guns you find. And since this Flak 40 has already been forced back with a previous artillery strike, you're not in a terrible position to push onto this Stug or even the Panzerjäger at this point. So that's what I want to see. I want to see Magic Man go for a push up here and try and make it happen. I'll have to wait and see. ROA still engaging the Magic Man in the forest, but the Magic Man's actually going to surrender. And after 29 minutes and 38 seconds, maybe the Magic Man thought that he didn't have enough time to win the game, and commiserations to him, is actually going to be knocked out of the tournament. So that's unfortunate. Kade Laker definitely traded very well. 2,245 kills to 1,050 losses throughout that game, and considering spent a little bit of that game completely AFK by the looks of things, did very well. So yeah, good job Kade Laker. Enacted the plan of take the forest, defend the top side, and it worked out very nicely. The Magic Man, he made the play on the top side, but he definitely got very over aggressive onto the Puma, when he could have probably just waited for a motorized rifle, right, which he had, but he didn't need to like suicide it in front of the Puma. He could have just unloaded it behind the tree line, run through the tree line, popped the Piat onto the Puma, then gone round with the Cromwell 7. He just got a bit ahead of himself, and it really cost him a ton of units. So that was unfortunate. And that was pretty much it. After that, he didn't really find the strength in the top side to push through, was too distracted by the engagement on the bottom side. And yeah, it was a real shame. Cromwell 7, yeah, just didn't really do as much as it should have in the early game. And you can see a lot of the units really didn't trade very well, even all through the game. 17-pounder did kill off the S307 pack. The motorized rifles did hit that Piat kill, which is rather spectacular. And then we look at the kills on the side of Kade Laker, and this Panzerjäger 35 getting the Humber Mark 3 and the Stuart 6 was very nice indeed. I believe that was the one on the bottom side. Panzerschreck killing the Humber Mark III and Stuart 6 is again very nice. That's a 30-point unit. Puma killing the Cromwell 7, 2 Cromwell 7s actually, and the M5 half tracks is just really nice. D520 is getting a Tempest kill. JU188 shooting down that Spitfire Mark 9 was pretty spectacular. Beverlong's trading 3 for 1. ROA trading 2 for 1. Stug 3. Stuart 6 faced off against that 17-pounder with no veterancy. ROA trading 4 for 1. Yeah, ROA, if you manage to get them into these engagements one at a time, they can kill off all of those. And that was pretty much it. So, yeah, interesting game. Definitely sort of gave me another chance to talk about the strategies of Bois de Limors and how different divisions work on the map. So that's cool. But unfortunately, this time around, for the Magic Man, it fell in favour of Kade Laker. So congratulations to Kade Laker, commiserations to the Magic Man. That's where I'm going to leave it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.